Hello, I am roaringbug and welcome to my Sims 4 speed build. Today I am building a house called the Detective's House. So right now I opened all of my cheats so I can get these debug houses. And now I am creating a replica of the 3 houses next to it. So I created this illusion of multi-houses just so I could make it look like this house is in its own little neighborhood area, just for story-wise for the gameplay. And now I am putting down basically everything that you would need for the house just to have it match up. So right now I'm just doing the little porch area and putting down the pillars, the stairs, and the foundation. So now I'm just putting down the windows, just getting to match up. I know the other 2 houses, like the 3 houses that are debug, they have 2 large windows in the front, but like if I do the interior layout of the house, it's not going to look right to have 2 large windows in the front. I tried doing 2 large windows in the back, as you can see, but again, when I start doing the floor plan, it doesn't really match up. Which is a given because the other 3 houses are debug houses, so the windows are not going to align with any kind of interior floor plan. So this house is just like a pale yellow, and I just made it look as similar as I can with the tools that I have, because the debug items don't normally match exactly with the catalog. So now I'm just doing the floor plan. I'm putting down the stairway. That will be a bathroom, and the kitchen and living room will be in the back. So like the title of my build, this is the detective's house. So the front is going to be a detective's office. So yeah, as you can see now, I just got rid of those two large windows and I just changed into 3 just so that it would align perfectly with that small hallway. And I'm doing the floor plan for the 2nd floor. So that large room is going to be a bathroom. And those 2 larger rooms on the front and the back are going to be bedrooms. And the tiny room in the front is going to be a closet. I don't normally do walk-in closets, so, you know, it's a little bit of a different kind of build for me. So I'm just putting down the lights, making sure it looks good. I don't really know how many people just spin around and just take in the angles of everything, but I do it a lot, and I actually edit a lot of it out. So now I'm just putting down the doors and that archway for the walk-in closet. And now I'm doing a doorway into the living room area. I used a closed-off door. I was going to do the French doors with the windows, but I thought realistically if this person used this house as a front office and they wanted to meet clients, then they would have their living space closed off from the public. So I wish that was like real gameplay, to be like a private detective. I think that would be pretty cool. Unfortunately, there is a detective career, but only with get to work, and it's kind of like repetitive, like pick up all the clues, use the analyze machine, and you just do a couple of tasks, and it gets repetitive after you do it a while, and it's not really exciting. Like, there's no cases. You're just eventually going to go through clues, and then you just it just becomes like a guess who, where you just pick the people that they meet the characteristics for the criminal, and then you just arrest them. So right now you're seeing that I'm furnishing this house, and it's all very brown. I mean, like, it's not super colorful because, you know, I wanted this home to look very neutral. You know, it's a detective, and I kind of wanted the detective to be like a hard-boiled detective, like very, very noir, you know, like something that's very, very much something you would see in the movies. And I guess I could have really pushed it and made the house, instead of like a suburban style, made it more like an apartment, which I think would be pretty cool. I might try that later on. And I don't know if I would do like these debug items though. But if you have Get to Work, you can, like I said, use the detective career. And, you know, I figured that desk in the detective's office, you could have your sim moonlight as a ghostwriter writing detective stories on the side. Frankly, in The Sims, in the gameplay, your Sims will probably make more money being a writer for mysteries than they will being a detective in a career. But in the Get to Work career, the detective career, like, the perk about it is that it's, you know, you could follow your Sim to work, but like I said, it's repetitive. So the only splash of color is that red bedroom, and now I'm just putting the decoration for this walk-in closet. And, you know, I'm just finding random things in the catalog because the catalog doesn't really have much of a system. Like, some things are kind of organized kind of haphazardly. So every time, like, I find an item, I'm like, oh, that could be in the kitchen. Or, like, I find an item and I'm like, hey, that can work in the living room. So that's why I'm, like, jumping around and filling in things a little at a time. So I put these bookshelves in the back of the desk because I thought that would look, you know, like something you'd have in a detective's office. And I really like detective films. I'm really into that whole noir film scene. You know, it's all usually like psychological thrillers, and you know, like, they have a mood to them. I really like that atmosphere in an Art Nouveau kind of like, Art Noir film. And, you know, they have like tropes like femme fatales and, you know, like the jaded hero, those kinds of like movie tropes. So I kind of tried my best to make this front office space like the focal point for that scene. And because I have these debug houses on one side of the house, I basically made like everything you can see on like one side of the house. But it's a basic style. It's like a really long kind of house. So yeah, I'm just putting down the railing and filling in this space for the walk-in closet. And yeah, put down some shoes. I don't normally put clutter items in my houses when I build in The Sims, because like last time I've killed a Sim with too much stuff in a bathroom, because like if you have too many things, your Sims won't be able to navigate. And if you have like an NPC walking in your house and they get stuck behind something, you're not going to know that they're suffering, and before you know it, the Grim Reaper will show up. And yeah, that's happened in a gameplay of mine. So I had like a multi-generational Sims gameplay, and I just wanted this Sim to be a detective, and I thought this kind of setup would look good. Alright, so moving on. I am doing the exterior of the house. So the exterior of the house is gonna have a bit of like a street scene in the front. So I'm putting down this sidewalk, concrete here, and I'm just putting it around the house. So it looks kind of like a communal build. So I just put this walkway all around the house. And now I'm using these debug items. And for those who don't know, debug items are all the decorative items that are in the surrounding houses that are just window dressing background items. So if you open the catalog, you can use them to decorate your own builds, and they have no cost, and your Sims can't interact with them. Like that fence, the Sim will walk straight through that fence like it's not even there. And you know, sometimes I don't really care because, you know, it doesn't really affect the gameplay too much, because you can have as many debug items as you want and your Sims won't register it. So if you did want clutter, you could use like debug clutter, because like again, your Sims are not going to interact with it. And yeah, I just put down these 3 trees just because I thought it looked a little bare in the back of the build. And just putting down some grass, so you know, just making that terrain look like it's part of the world. And now I'm just putting down these bushes and mailboxes and a trash can and more of these like decorative pieces. And these light posts. So now what I'm doing is I'm making a tiny fake bus stop. Which now that I think about it, there are no bus stops in The Sims. And there are no workable cars in The Sims. You can like pretend there's a garage, but there are no cars in The Sims. Like you'll see them passing by, but it's not like an object you can interact with. So now I'm just putting down these radiators and just sticking them underneath some of the windows. And I put this scale because as a detective, you're upholding justice. And yeah, I put down that fire hydrant. And this is when I changed those light poles. Like first I put down the pole that had the flowers, and then I put down a pole with just a light. And then I saw we had one that had both planters and a light. And I was like, I don't have to compromise. I can have one that has both. So now I changed the time of day to night. And I'm trying to put these lights in the front porch of all the houses, because I put one in the front of my house. Well, the actual house. And I realized the lighting isn't working. Because those 3 other houses are debug houses. So the way light works in the game is not registering that the 3 houses as the actual houses. So the lighting is really wonky. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to change it to just these floor lighting. And I think that works out. And, you know, there was pillars there. So now onward to screenshots. So if you like my build, you can download off the gallery at roaringbug. Please like, subscribe, or leave me a comment. Thank you for watching. Bye.